Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this good day. I'm Deborah Posega Osborne. I'm Vice President, University Relations here at the University of Saskatchewan. And as we gather here today, we acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respect to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place, and we reaffirm our relationship with one another. Before we begin the work of the day, we are going to ask Elder Fleury to lead us in prayer. Thank you, Elder Fleury. You know, it's always a pleasure and a privilege to have you on our campus and as a part of our community. Now, as I welcome you here today, I do want to make a few other special mentions. First of all, I want to welcome our University Chancellor, Roy Romanow, our Board Chair, Leah Henneque, and all members of our University Council, Senate, and Board. Thank you for being here. We also have two members of Parliament, the Honorable Sherry Benson and the Honorable Kevin Waugh here as well. Thank you for being here. I am delighted to welcome our Premier, the Honorable Scott Moe, and members of the Saskatchewan Cabinet here today by a happy coincidence. They are meeting here on our campus, and we are delighted, absolutely delighted. They've taken time to break from their busy and important discussions to come over here with us for a few minutes today. We really appreciate that, as well as the presence of other members of our provincial government who have taken the time to be here today. We have a Saskatoon City Councillor, Hilary Goff, here today with us as well. And I want to make a very special welcome to Dr. Kay Nasser, a great friend of this university and a great member of this community. Sir, it's always a pleasure and a privilege to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Now, for those of you who know me, you're going to know that it doesn't take a lot for me to get excited about things. My staff will tell you that's just sort of the way I go through life. So you need to try to imagine how I'm feeling today as several years of work comes together here, and we take the time to come together as a community to launch a plan that's going to guide this university and its work through the year 2025. The ambitions of this plan, and it is an ambitious plan, are going to drive our university to align our local impact and our local presence with our global aspirations. And that is actually the next natural and logical step for this university. Universities always have to serve the communities they're in. They have to do that. It's why they're formed. We do that, and we do it well, and we do it in countless ways every day, but we also have to strive more than ever to meet the changing needs of a changing world. And we're a university that can do that and is committed to doing that. We strive to be, and we intend to be, the university that meets the needs of the world, because what affects our world affects this province, and vice versa. What affects this province affects this world. So as we do that, we have to say, well, how are we going to do that? And the roadmap we're going to follow is outlined in this visionary, forward-thinking, outward-facing plan through its three key commitments. Commitments to courageous curiosity, boundless collaboration, and inspired communities. This plan, as you'll see, further identifies 5 areas of impact that we're going to focus on over the next 7 years. We're committed to focusing on transformational work that's going to lead to reconciliation. I'm going to say that again for emphasis, transformational work that will lead to reconciliation. We're going to focus on productive collaboration, meaningful impact, developing distinguished learners, and earning global recognition. We're glad that you're going to be with us on that journey. It is now my pleasure to welcome the Honorable Scott Moe, Premier of Saskatchewan, to step forward and say a few words.
Well, thank you so much, Deborah, and thank you, Dr. Stoichkov, for always being such a wonderful host for the government of Saskatchewan when we have the opportunity to visit this campus, and being such a good partner in providing education, working together on research that is so important to this province, to this nation, and to the world. That partnership is most certainly appreciated by myself and all of the cabinet ministers and the entire government of Saskatchewan that are here today. Welcome, MPs, Mr. Wyant, as well as Sherry Benson. Welcome to the University of Saskatchewan campus in your hometown, and welcome to my cabinet colleagues, who, as was mentioned, we have the opportunity to visit the campus today, which is an important annual event for us to come and hold some meetings across the province, and most notably at the University of Saskatchewan. And I want to thank them for coming over to the event here today. Thank you so much, Elder Fleury, for the prayer, and it is a true honor, both personally and professionally, for me to join you here today. It is something that I am so thankful that you are here to share in this vision that is being provided here today. But as a graduate myself of this university, and someone who not too long ago had the opportunity to attend the graduation of our son from this university, the University of Saskatchewan's importance to our province, our nation, and the world cannot be overstated. I say that our province's future and well-being depends on the work that is being done on this campus each and every day. Work being done by our researchers, by our scientists, work being done by our not only our academics, but our students on this campus. And I'm convinced that as we look forward to the year 2025, as our plan will, that what we have seen over the last decade, what we have seen over the last century, the benefit that we have seen come from this campus will continue into the future. I'm convinced of this because we identify with what has happened over the last decade. Curiosity. Nowhere better for curiosity to be developed than an institution such as the University of Saskatchewan. Collaboration. And I think of the collaboration between the government of Saskatchewan and the university, but I think of the collaboration between our communities, which is the third initiative put forward here today. Whether they be geographic communities across the province or geographic communities around the world, whether they be our cultural communities around the world that in many ways are leading to this province through immigration of people, through people that have been here all along our First Nations community in Saskatchewan, but also through people that are first-generation Canadians, and through people like myself, where our families have been here for multiple generations. The collaboration and integration of our communities is so important, and nowhere is that more evident than this campus in this province. We've seen the construction at this campus of the Health Sciences Complex that has brought healthcare faculties together to provide an integrated learning experience in what I would say and have looked at and have toured as a state-of-the-art facility. We've seen cutting-edge research that is taking place with the Canadian Light Source, Canada's only synchrotron, and much talk about that far beyond the borders of this campus and far beyond the borders of our province. The Global Institute for Food Security, a very unique, public-private partnership that enables innovative research that will help meet the growing demand of safe, reliable food. Much talk about that on my most recent trip to China. Great work is happening at the Global Institute for Water Security, the Sylvia Fedoruk Canadian Centre for Nuclear Innovation, of which we have heard of and which we will hear in the future. The International Vaccine Center, or the Vito Intervac Center, one of the world's most advanced and the largest containment level 3 vaccine research centers on Earth. There are other less known ventures that are occurring right here on campus, like CoLabs, the tech incubator that we have at Innovation Place adjacent to the U of S campus, where successful companies like Coconut Software, like Vendasta Technologies, and 7 Shifts have emerged, and more continue to emerge each and every week. The University of Saskatchewan has a compelling story to tell. Our university has a compelling story to tell to the world, and we will continue to do that. And I want to take today, on behalf of the government of Saskatchewan, to congratulate you on this plan and to congratulate you on everything that we have accomplished together over the last century. We need to continue to tell this story around the world. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. We are all storytellers. We need to remember that. We do have a powerful story to tell, and I'm glad we're all coming together to tell it. We also have a message from the Honorable Ralph Goodale. He could not be here today, but he has sent us a video message. We'll take a look at that now as we continue through our program.
Hello, everyone. This is Ralph Goodale. The University of Saskatchewan is one of the foundational institutions of our province, established by an act of the Legislative Assembly in 1907. And ever since, over 100 years, this university has been crucial in shaping Saskatchewan's prospects. And I'm very proud to be an alumnus. As a federal MP and minister, it has been my great pleasure over the years to work very closely with U of S scholars and researchers, scientists and administrators on a number of very significant projects. The Canadian Light Source Synchrotron, for example, and VIDO, the new Water and Food Security Institutes, the new Collaborative Science Building, several Johnson-Shoyama initiatives, and of course, innumerable projects in agriculture, among others. Across Saskatchewan, across Canada, and indeed in other parts of the world, it's always exciting to encounter fellow graduates of the U of S and to see and hear about the profound impact this institution continues to have. While my cabinet duties don't allow me to be in Saskatoon today, I do want to wish you every success in the launch of the new university plan. I'll be watching with great anticipation to see the new ambitions of the University of Saskatchewan on the local, national, and international stage. Given the impressive track record of the past 100 years, I'm looking forward to the wisdom, the innovation, and leadership that the U of S will undoubtedly continue to provide to Saskatchewan, to Canada, and to the world. Congratulations on this important occasion. Hello, everyone.
So I have an observation I have here, especially after hearing those remarks, is how inspiring it is to think that the work that we're doing here at this university and in this province is recognized far beyond our borders. And that has a lot to do with the work of our faculty. And of course, this plan is of great importance to the faculty who have been integral to us developing it. So now I'm going to invite Chelsea Wilness, who is acting chair of University Council and an associate professor and Grandie Scholar in Sustainable Leadership in the Edwards School of Business, to speak a little bit from the faculty perspective about this plan and the way it supports and enhances the work of our faculty colleagues.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to speak about the plan on behalf of University Council and on behalf of faculty. Council had a very important role today in bringing us here. As one of our 3 major governing bodies, University Council was part of the formal approval process, but more than that, Council and its committees were fully engaged in dialogue, questions, input, and more input since the very beginning of the plan's development. Council itself is comprised of more than 100 members, and its 9 committees bring the number of those connected to and involved with Council to more than 150. All of these individuals, faculty, student leaders, administrators, and staff, were touch points for this university plan and have lent their voices to its creation. As careful stewards of the university's academic mission, Council members were, as always, thoughtful, thorough, and forward-looking in their consideration of this plan, and their feedback is embedded as part of its fabric. Faculty are a major component of University Council, with representation from across our 17 colleges and schools. Faculty are also, of course, a major component of this university and will be instrumental in bringing this university plan to life over the next several years. As a researcher myself, I am excited by this plan and its focus on curiosity and creativity. I'm energized by its language of connection and partnership and excellence and leadership. As a teacher who lives and breathes community engagement, I see myself reflected in the words of co-creation and togetherness and fostering inventive, collaborative learners and leaders. As a citizen and a member of this community, I'm above all proud of this university and proud of its plan for the future. I'm proud of our commitment to indigenization, of our commitment to making the world a better place, our commitment to sustainability and to our communities. I want to be part of that. I invite you all to witness this plan, and I'm confident you'll feel inspired by it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea. You know, I think it's already clear that our extraordinary faculty members are demonstrating how this plan is going to inform their work and also influence the way that they interact with the students. And I always say that the students are the reason that we're here. This plan is designed to help ensure that their time with the university provides them the opportunity to gain the global competencies that are essential to their and our future, and the foundation to be collectively responsible global citizens. It's important work. We do it together. And so I'd like to invite two of our students to come forward. Naheda Setaut, who is president of the Graduate Students Association, and Rose Wu, who is the University of Saskatchewan Students' Union Vice President on Students' Affairs, to step forward.
I start with a quote by C.S. Lewis. There are far better things ahead than any we leave behind. A couple of years ago, I came to the University of Saskatchewan to pursue a PhD in the Department of Chemistry. I chose the university because I found a supervisor with similar research interests as mine. During my bachelor's and master's, I focused mostly on academics. So when I came to the university, I was very motivated to involve myself and be engaged within the university and within my department. I was extremely motivated to do so because if I had stayed and focused simply on my research, I really would go crazy. I needed something more, and I wanted my university experience to be meaningful. My main goal was to try and pursue initiatives that would provide opportunities for my peers. I had no idea where to start and what I could do as an individual. Something I quickly learned, though, that here at the University of Saskatchewan, we're encouraged to explore, pursue, and discover initiatives that would augment student success, that would celebrate diversity, and that would promote inclusivity on campus.
All of this is rooted in our mission, vision, and values, in our new university plan, and in who we are. As U of S students, we embrace being the leaders of tomorrow and voice of the future. We're fundamental to the university as an institution of higher learning. We're challenged, we're encouraged to be original thinkers, we're given the opportunity to succeed, and now we have a stronger way forward with the new university plan.
When I first came to the University of Saskatchewan, I was content in knowing that I could be involved and engaged within my department. As I stand before you, I'm content in knowing that I was given the opportunities to involve and engage myself within the university and in the community. As a U of S student, we are empowered, we are inspired, and we are encouraged to face challenges and with courage and determination to bring about positive change. As we change, we are changing for the better. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts and being a part of this community. So tightly linked to this important work that we do with our students, as you see, is not only the teaching, but it's the research that we conduct with that global impact on our communities, our research, our scholarly work, and our artistic work. And so it's my pleasure now to invite up Jay Famigletti, who is Executive Director of our Global Institute for Water Security and the Canada 150 Research Chair in Hydrology and Remote Sensing. He's going to talk a little bit about those global ambitions and that little task of changing the world.
No pressure. Just need to change the world in 3 minutes. I'm a hydrologist, and that means that I teach and I train students, and I do research in the area of water, and in particular for me, it's really in the area of water quantity. My research team uses satellites and develops advanced computer models to track how freshwater availability is changing around the world. And we also share the stories of our findings. We are communicators, and we try to communicate with the general public, with practitioners, and with elected officials. So, in the spirit of communication, let me tell you about the picture of changing freshwater availability that emerges from our research. And let me warn you, it's not a pretty one, but you need to know about it because it affects all of us. Our satellite research has revealed very well-defined regions, really hotspots that pop right off of our global satellite maps of water security versus water insecurity, of the haves and the have-nots, of the places that have too much water or that have too little water, and of the major aquifers, groundwater reservoirs around the world that are being depleted at far too rapid a pace, and therefore putting both our water and our food security at risk. There's a human dimension to this. There's overuse, there's contamination, there's mismanagement. There's a climate change dimension, increasing temperatures and the increasing frequency of flooding and drought. I came to the U of S to have the academic freedom to explore the forces that drive water insecurity in the hottest of these hotspots around the world. Are they climate forces, socioeconomic forces, political forces, other forces? How are they interacting? I came to the U of S to understand what role universities can play in forming new networks and institutions that will work collaboratively to enhance regional and global water security. I came to the U of S to build upon the exceptionally strong foundation built by our administration and by our colleagues to make the U of S the top university program in global water security in the world. The U of S has granted me tremendous freedom to pursue such lofty goals. And it's good because Deborah just put a lot of pressure on me. It is providing the resources to accomplish them. In fact, if you don't know, the investment in freshwater research at University of Saskatchewan over the last decade is greater than any other university in the world. And importantly, it's encouraging me to tell the stories of water security, my own stories, the stories of my colleagues, the stories of people that are on the front lines of water insecurity. That through that communication, that may be the only way that we can help raise awareness of critical water issues around the world. And of course, the university is encouraging me, and I'm happy to tell the stories of the leadership role that the University of Saskatchewan is playing in ensuring provincial, national, and global water security. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. You're a world-leading researcher. Again, we're privileged to have you in our community, and we have this amazing mix in our community here of people who were born and raised and educated and learned and grew in Saskatchewan and Western Canada, and then others such as you from all over the world who come here because you know this is a place where something important is happening. So thank you for that. You know, it's that ability to attract top talent that I think can differentiate this university from some others, but it's also a signal of where we're going and what we're becoming. And to tell you a little bit more about that, it's really my distinct pleasure to invite President Peter Stoichev to step forward. He has been an inspiration. He's been foundational to our ability to get where we needed to go with this university plan, and he's an inspirational and a foundational leader each and every day. President Stoichev.
Thank you very much, Deborah, and for all the contributions that you have made to the development of this plan and to organizing today. It's, wow, fantastic to see so many people here. There are many I want to recognize and thank. I can't do justice to this whole group, but thank you very much, Elder Fleury, for your comments. It is really special to hear what you are saying about how you feel and about how Indigenous people feel about this university. And you said those things with other Indigenous community leaders and Indigenous students when we were developing this plan. And it's through that kind of candor that we can create a plan that has the strength that we believe this plan has. So thank you very much, and for your comments this morning as well. MPs Benson and Waugh, thank you very much for being here. And the whole provincial cabinet, thank you for being here. I tried to ensure that they were seated somewhere where they could leave to go about the very vital business of this province without being too obtrusive in their departure, but they're too polite to do that so far anyway. If I go on long enough, maybe we'll see that happen. And to the Premier and a graduate of this university for your special remarks at a moment's notice, I might say. It just turned out serendipitously that this could happen. So I really appreciate that. Chancellor Romano, it has been fantastic to work with you and while working with you to see this plan evolve. The Board of Governors is meeting today, tomorrow, and the next day, and they are all here as well. Thank you very much, all of you, for attending this special occasion. Kay Nasser, your name was mentioned before, but Kay is one of the university's greatest supporters in all sorts of ways, from being a fabulous professor and researcher here to supporting students and all sorts of student endeavors and supporting us financially as well. And it means an awful lot, Kay, when you are here, so thank you very much. Marie Batiste, I see, and Sakej Henderson, thank you for your ongoing and your former work at this university. I've learned a lot from both of you. All the alumni I see who are here, dozens and dozens of them who are interested in the plan that their university intends to follow up to 2025. Thank you for your interest and for your support. There were many things that alumni said to us over literally thousands of interviews when we were developing the vision, mission, and values document that influenced this document that were extremely important for us, and the faculty who are here as well. And one of the things that I learned about our faculty and heard from our faculty over and over again is that 60% of the faculty that we have at the University of Saskatchewan were hired in the last 10 years. And so when we plan, we have to plan with that cohort in mind. We're planning for a university that they are working at now, that they are building, and that they will inherit the leadership of as time goes by is extremely important to me. Thank you to all the students, to Chelsea and Nahida who were, to Nahida and Rose who were speaking here, and Chelsea for your words, chairing council, and Jay Familietti. I and all others who know your story were extremely proud of the fact that we were able to attract you here, and thanks for saying the words that you did. We are ready to move forward in a bold and very new direction with this university plan that is not only innovative and inspirational, but truly unique to our university. We felt that was extraordinarily important. Universities plan, and they put out plans. Some of them are interchangeable. This one is unique to this university in this province at this time, and you can't mistake this plan for the plan of another university. And that was very important to us as we set about the work of developing a plan. It's informed by over 2 years of extensive consultation, both on and off campus, and it will guide us through the process of positioning the university as a leader, not only locally and provincially, but nationally and internationally as well. So how do we get there? Our new strategic plan builds on the foundation of our 2016 mission, vision, and values document, and the principles, and there are 4 of them, of connectivity, creativity, diversity, and sustainability. The core pillars, those are the 4 core pillars that will help drive our priorities and progress through to the year 2025. Carefully woven, not just a commitment, but carefully woven throughout the plan, is our steadfast commitment to indigenization and to answering the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada's calls to action. Through the process, we have been and will continue to be guided by contributions from Indigenous elders, traditional knowledge keepers, language keepers, our Indigenous students, our Indigenous communities. It's at the heart of everything that we do moving forward as we strive to become the university of the future. We have 18 colleges and schools and a truly unique research infrastructure. You heard the Premier discussing some of it right here on campus, such as the Canadian Light Source, Vito Intervac. There is no other research intensive medical doctoral university in the country that has that kind of infrastructure and the breadth of programs that we have, spanning applied science through professional programs to the very important fine arts. There's no other university that has that span of programming and connected up with the unique scientific infrastructure that we have here. And as a result of that, we want to make a difference in the world, and we're well equipped to do it. Guided by our new university plan, we will continue to boldly face the major challenges of our time. I keep saying to people that we cannot meet those challenges with single, working alone faculty members or students. We have to be able to collaborate with each other and far beyond the university. It's the only way now to meet the major challenges that the world faces. To help put all of this into visual perspective, I invite you to watch a short video which introduces to you some of the people of the plan and unveils the names of our new strategic plan.
It's with great pride that I go out and I tell about what kinds of things we're doing here, and we are, I would say, leaps and bounds ahead of most universities across Canada, and we will continue to be because we have leadership who believe in this and are working very hard toward achieving these outcomes.
Well, the University of Saskatchewan is a place where they've got a vision that I haven't seen at other universities, to be able to invest and build these multidisciplinary teams.
It's the investment, it's the resources, it's the support and confidence in the information that scientists are bringing to the table. Those are all things that brought me here.
When I pursued my PhD degree, I came here, and I found this university is an amazing university, and the people here is very friendly, and also all kind of things very supportive.
These are really important issues that occur right here in this place, and so I think the university is well positioned to study these problems that are happening in our backyard.
I think the difference here is that the university plan does incorporate those concepts of indigenization and reconciliation and decolonization, and the university plan is a foundational document.
We've already had huge success with lentils and with sour cherries developed by the U of S. What's going to be the next cool thing that they're going to do?
We were the first city to sign an MOU with our local university as a partner that lays out on all these different dimensions, and we build a strong sense of interconnectedness between the life on the university campus and the life of the city as a whole.
I am a person that in the environment that's very kindly and friendly, I can grow a lot. And so because of this reason, I think this place is a good place for me.
The way that we support and empower our students, that I think is a niche for the University of Saskatchewan. How we look after each other, that defines us.
The interaction that you have on a daily basis is your university experience, and that University of Saskatchewan experience is an Indigenous one.
There's a kind of humbleness about the people that graduate from this university, and then I need to reiterate again just that amazing sense of pride. We are just University of Saskatchewan proud.
I was noticing as I was watching that, I was reminded of the fact that really it's all three levels of government that have helped us out to achieve what we're achieving. We work very, very closely with the province. I am delighted that Cabinet is here and has taken time from his busy schedule to mostly stand here and be part of this and to show their support, and it's real support. And they understand what we're trying to achieve, and they're supportive of it. The federal government has supported us as well in many ways, particularly to do with high-level research. And our municipal government has as well, and I know that Councillor Goff is here representing the city, and we're thankful for that too. And for that MOU that Mayor Clark was mentioning that we had signed, the first of its kind in the country, between a major research-intensive university and the city that it finds itself in. The university the world needs. It's an ambitious goal, but also a powerful guide to provide global impact in our research while training our students to become engaged global citizens. We will be a university that trains students for the workforce of today, but also prepares them for an uncertain workforce of tomorrow and the challenges that tomorrow brings. Over the next 7 years, we will become a university that is comfortable with change and a university that embraces the new reality of disruptive technologies. Supported and approved by our council. Thank you, Chelsea, for being here. Our Board of Governors, thank you, Lee, as Chair of our Board of Governors, and all of its members for being here. And our Senate, and thank you, Chancellor Romano, as Chair of Senate, for being here and a member of the board. Our new plan will inform all of our decision-making processes over the next 7 years. Along the way, we will take our place among the great institutions of our country and in select areas, the great institutions of the world. We'll continue to work to increase enrollment and build our peer-reviewed funding, while also expanding our interdisciplinary and collaborative programs and partnerships. We will improve our academic rankings and student experience while also enhancing our alumni engagement and embracing Manasituin as we become recognized as leaders in reconciliation and indigenization. And I like the fact that we might be recognized for that, but let me just state it is so important. We are not looking to be seen as a leader or the leader. There are many post-secondary institutions across this country that are working on reconciliation and being informed by their respective Indigenous communities. But here in this province, we have to be a leader. We will unleash discovery and uplift indigenization, and we will embrace interdisciplinarity as we seek solutions. We will enrich disciplines, align structures so that all of this can be achieved, embolden partnerships, and experience reconciliation. And while we will always remain grounded in Saskatchewan values and a sense of humility, we will not be afraid to amplify our value, energize our champions, and celebrate our many successes. Through innovation and collaboration, our aspirations will soon become our expectations. And to that end, we will govern ourselves, not only on the basis of what we want to be, but what the world needs us to be. The University of Saskatchewan, the university the world needs. We invite you, and I invite you, to join us on this exciting journey. Thank you so very much.
So an inspirational leader indeed. Thank you, President Stoichev, for your vision, your leadership, and for helping us bring this plan to the community in the powerful way that we've done today. The university the world needs. That's really a fitting name for this plan. And I think, as you can tell by the President's remarks, people expect great things of us, and they should. People expect great things of this university, of this community. They think we can accomplish great things as an institution, and we can. this is what we discovered as we were talking with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in developing this plan. People believe in us, and they believe in the future, and they believe in our future. Now, some of the most important components of this plan, as the President has said, relate to how we work with our Indigenous partners and communities. And this plan is firmly grounded in and informed by Indigenous languages and practices, and as the President has said, truly reflects our commitment to help fulfill the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's call to action. We were very honored to be gifted with Indigenous names for the plan, and to speak in a way that only she can speak about this aspect of the plan, as she was integral to our ability to move it forward. It's my privilege to welcome my colleague and our Vice Provost of Indigenous Engagement, Jackie Ottman, forward. That only happens when you're wearing fabulous shoes.
I know, that's it. I think it happened to someone in the Academy Awards also, so I'm not the first one. Miziak megok pe pamotang dizanakas. Nin dina maganak inged jikenda miomayan. Kinanakamanak kanama miomayat. I'm very honored to be here today. And who would have thought? I'm actually just really taken by the moment. The first time that I stepped onto the University of Saskatchewan lands was in 1983, and that was when I was 17. And today I stand before you as the University of Saskatchewan's first Provost of Indigenous Engagement, and that is through the long-standing advocacy of Indigenous peoples and allies, and just so many people for many, many years. And so today, I would like to recognize the Indigenous, our ancestors first of all, but also the Indigenous faculty and staff and students, what we've learned since 1909 that have challenged divisive and demeaning policies and curriculums and structures, and today we have something that we can be truly proud of, which is the university plan. And I began on October 1st in the midst of the strategic planning process. And within my academic career, I have had looked at Indigenous strategic plans and strategic plans in general for the past 13 years. And again, that's nationally and internationally, and have engaged in university-wide Indigenous strategic planning processes and faculty processes during my career also. So it was a privilege to be a part of this process and to really fall into it and just, step into pace with what was already happening. And so what I had learned is that the elders, traditional knowledge keepers, and language teachers were already being convened, and they were already wrestling with some of the principles that they were asked to interpret. But they were also right alongside that, there was another process, and that process was trying to identify the spirit of the university plan itself. And that is what you see in the name of the university plan today, which is Niganitan Manachituanak, or Niganitan Nimanachitunan. And so one is in Cree and the other is in Michif. And but I would like to have, first of all, before I go any further, have the Indigenous University stand because it is because of your efforts and because of your guidance and because of the commitment that we're making to Indigenous students, faculty, staff in the future, but also to the to humanity and to all creation that we gather here today to celebrate a plan that is very inclusive of Indigenous peoples and cultures. So please stand. Cece, Baptiste, yeah. Thank you so much. Gitchimigwech. Gitchimigwech. It is such a privilege to be in the presence of many great dignitaries, again to mark this momentous occasion for us and with us, and I do encourage you to look deep into the university plan, because it is unlike any other plan that I've come across. It's not a separate Indigenous strategy, and that's something we'll be engaging in also. But concepts like reconciliation, indigenization, and decolonization are embedded throughout this particular plan. And that is something that I am very, very grateful for and humbled by the leadership that we have here at the University of Saskatchewan that really did ensure that those held prominent places within the plan. And so it is something that I think the university plan is being recognized not only within our university bounds, within our own boundaries, but nationally and internationally, as is the work that Indigenous faculty and scholars are doing and engaged in. And so I recognize too that they're being that they are being called to other universities to support certain teachings and change processes. So this particular name was gifted to the university late August through ceremony, and so the planning process from an Indigenous perspective began with ceremony and it ended in ceremony, and that's something to always recognize. So it is a process that was done in a good way, and again, the elders, traditional knowledge keepers, and those people, the Indigenous people that were involved within this process, ensured that this was done in a very respectful way. The meaning of Niganitan Manachidwanek is "let us lead with respect." And so that is an invitation. Let us lead with respect. And so like one of the original treaties, which is the Turo Wampum between Indigenous, non-Indigenous peoples, that really does encourage us to be respectful, to also engage in activities that promote friendship and peace. So again, I'd like to thank all those that were involved. At this time, what I would like to do is to ask, we have our traditional knowledge keeper, Bob Badger. And Bob has been part of the university for some time now. And what we are going to do is we are going to robe or blanket, which is a verb in our community, President Peter Stoichev and Deborah Posega Osborne with a blanket. So it is an honoring to be robed in such a way, and it symbolizes the embracing of community. So, if I could ask Peter and. And we do understand that it does take strong leadership to embark on a new journey, and also to lead significant change. And at this time, I would like to welcome Elder Fleury and one of our students. To honor Peter and Deborah with a Métis sash. Indiana Best is our student.
This is also. I'll just tell them that. The sash is also one of the greatest gifts you can get. It's a significance of our Métis culture, and when you're wrapped around with the sash, there's certain ways there are protocols also, but today is a very special day, and very honored to share our nation and wrapping up the culture and the language together as a people, in friendship. Thank you, merci. Okay, so at this time, I would also like to introduce to you one of our students, and who is going to, and his name is Roland Baldhead. He's going to perform for us an honor song.
Thank you all for being here. I'm so just honored and humbled. I don't want to put my blanket down. I'm just going to hang on to it for a few minutes. You know, I want to thank you all for being here today. You only get a chance to do this as a university, have this beautiful moment in time just a few times in your history, and I think this is a really beautiful moment in time for us. So I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank you for all joining us as storytellers, and I want to thank you all for joining us as members of this community that will lead this plan forward. And with that, I believe our time together today is concluded. So thank you all for being here. It's much appreciated.